Hi Floss Tube. Welcome back to my channel. This is Stitchy Cheryl. Today's date is February 12th, 2026, and I am here for a cross stitch update. If you stumbled on me by accident, hey, thanks for joining. This is a channel where I talk mainly about cross stitch. I do have other crafts that I get up to now and again. I have a couple today. I'm trying to get that off my glasses. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. I am coming to you from a new filming location. If you hadn't noticed, there's baseball on the wall instead of my mom's heart quilt. My husband and I are in the process of switching offices. I had taken, when my daughter moved out, we remodeled, I took over her room as my office / craft room. I have worked at home for over 30 years, and I've had an office in the house that whole time. But I'm not currently working. And my husband just started working from home about a year ago, and he's here more often than not. And he's ADD, I'm not gonna lie, and he gets very distracted by any noise in the house. So while I'm trying to unload the dishwasher or whatever, he gets interrupted and can't deal with it. So we decided to switch. I don't care. I can work anywhere. A band could walk by me and I probably wouldn't really notice. I might wave hi, but it doesn't really distract me. Once I'm in my zone, I'm in my zone. He really needs that door. And so we moved it, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. We did the switch. So he is working in there now, and it's bliss. I'm so happy with this decision. I'm able to make noise during the day. It's very lovely, very lovely. He's really loud too. I mean, God love him, but he is loud. I keep asking him if he thinks that he has had a can and some string that he's talking to people, because he just is loud on the phone. Anyways, now he can close the door. I don't have to listen to him all day. I don't have to try to be quiet. It's a win-win for both of us. But we are in the process of moving. It's taking a little time because I'm working at his desk, which is full of his stuff. I emptied out all of my stuff in the other room. He hasn't gotten that far. So I'm kind of in a temporary holding pattern until he kind of moves some of his stuff out and I can move my stuff in. So I kind of have everything in boxes and bags right now, but it'll eventually get there, and I'm excited for it. He actually didn't care about the closet in there, so I kept all my closet space, and now I have more space in this area. So kind of doubled my storage room. So that's cool. So 2026, and how come I haven't been here in so long? Well, I can sum it up in 2 words: migraine and injury. On New Year's Eve, I was actually at a New Year's Eve party thrown by some friends, and I left because I just had a horrible migraine, and pretty much have had it ever since. It waxes and wanes. Some days are worse than others. I've had some days without pain, but this really has been a bad migraine period. I'm currently not working, trying to get some relief for the migraines, and hasn't found anything yet. I remain hopeful. And then, because of this office move, I was trying to clean something off in the garage that I was moving out of the garage and into my new space, and I slipped, and I tried very hard to break my wrist. It wasn't broken, but I did a pretty good job. I think I tore the TFCC tendon, which is not an uncommon injury. It's also like overuse and things like that, but like landing with your hands like this is a very common way to injure it. So we did spend 5 hours, 6 hours in the ER because we were convinced it was broken. It wasn't broken, but I just got the splint off on Tuesday. I can stitch for a little bit, but not very long before it gets painful. I did start therapy also on Tuesday. She put this really cool tape. I look so cool, I know. But she did put the tape on to try to make me feel a little bit better, and it has helped. I stitched more last night. I was excited. I am only allowed a half an hour at a time, and then I have to ice and rest. So you don't get a whole lot done in a half an hour, but it's better than nothing, which is what I was doing. So that was fun. So that's kind of how my year has been. on the mend. Today I don't have a headache, so I hope that kind of continues. I hope maybe we're on a better journey on that part. Um, I was able to meet with my stitching group one time, which was totally fun. It was great to see them all again. I hadn't been in a really long time. And I did do a Zoom on New Year's Eve with Stitching with Sandy. That's her name here on YouTube, and I think it's the same on Instagram. I'll link her below. She hosts a Zoom on the second and the fourth Saturday of the month. And then she hosted a Zoom on New Year's Eve from 9 a.m. until midnight Pacific time for the 12 by 12. If you haven't heard of the 12 by 12, it's kind of a thing where a lot of cross stitchers stitch for 12 hours on a project. It's either start 12 things at the top of every hour, work on 12 whips. Sandy was actually working on one project. She started and finished it in the time of the Zoom, which that was kind of fun. Kim, the contented needle worker, was just stitching grass. It was hilarious. It was just, okay, I'm going to a different color of grass now. I think that sounds horrid, but she got a lot done, so good for her. My hair is doing something. Apologize for that. Anyways, that's kind of what I've been up to. I do have, well, I have kind of done a whip parade historically in my many 3 floss tubes. This time I decided to do a parade or like kind of show some prior finishes. Haven't FFO'd any of them. It's just the way it is. But here, I thought I would bring some that I enjoyed stitching, and we'll get them FFO'd at some point. This is Loads of Love, and this is by the Little Stitch Girl. This is on, I don't know, it's a 32 count. I don't know what it is. It's color and cotton. I know that much. I was a member of their fabric club for a long time, and I know that I just sort of grabbed different pinks and reds for the hearts. I don't know what colors they were. I think I may have used the called for the wagon, which I think may have been Ladybug. There's a lot of thinks in this. I did stitch this like 2 years ago. So this is my walk of shame that I haven't finished any of these, but whatever. You know, I am a completer and maybe not a finisher, I will say, but I'll get them done eventually. This is Love Letters by Erin Elizabeth. It is on an unknown mystery fabric. I went into a cross stitch store in Las Vegas, and they just have like little snips of unknown linen, and so I picked this up. Figured I could do something small on it, and I did. I did this on, it is a 32 count linen. I have just no idea who the maker is or dyer. And it is stitched with the called for colors of DMC. The only change that I made is that these hearts at the bottom, right here, were supposed to be black, and I decided that hearts need to be red. So if you remember from my prior videos, I do love hearts, and I love the color pink. I have a little heart shirt on that my friend Shelly, who's It's Only Stitching here on YouTube, and KeyX Stitch on Instagram, gave to me for Christmas. But I love hearts. This is my favorite time of the year because you can find everything pink and red and hearts. I don't limit hearts to just Valentine's Day. I actually have a love-hate relationship with Valentine's Day. It was my mom's birthday. So while I love all of the decor that comes with it, and I love that it's all about love and friendship and in relationships and things like that, I do have a love-hate relationship with it. It makes me think of my mom. So for Valentine's Day, I think my husband and I are going to Knott's Berry Farm. He's a very sweet man, and he tries so hard to plan something to get me out of the house so I don't sit around and miss my mom all day, which is very sweet. So I think that's what we might be doing. I don't know. We had a different plan, and it's really cold here in California. I know, cold here in California. I'm not going to say that I'm freezing because, boy, some of you guys really are freezing. But yeah, it's chilly here. I didn't want to go do what we were going to do, so I think we are going to go to Knott's. So we'll see. Anyways, that's off the subject. This is the 2024 Collector's Heart from Heart and Hand. I'm sure most of you know she puts out a new one every year. I do have all of them. Maybe not all of them. I do have most of them, and the ones that I didn't have, a lot of them are in that collector's heart book that Heart and Hand put out last year, the year before. So I have knit the majority of them. Stitched, whew, words. Anyways, this one I believe was a gift from my friend Shelly. It was stitched on the called for linen because it was included in the chart. And then I did use the called for weeks flosses. Or actually, I think it was Classic Colorworks with 1 weeks. So I love this one. Yeah. When I have a hand, yeah, you know, once the craft room is changed, I think I'll be able to sew a little bit more, and I'll work on these FFOs. As a matter of fact, as we were moving it, I do have an entire box of FFOs that, or excuse me, finishes that I would like to be FFOs. If you're new to the cross stitch community, an FFO is a fully finished object, and I would like to get that entire box done by the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. This is Valentine's Alphabet from Primrose Cottage. It is stitched on 32 count blush Lugana, and I did buy the Classic Colorworks, not the Classic Colorworks, the Color and Cotton colors when I was in Las Vegas. Cannot come up with the name of that store. Everybody knows it. Anyways, I loved stitching this. I love this teal color with the pinks. Oh, I think it's so pretty. And of course, the 2 birds that I'll name Jeff and Cheryl, because I do that. And I got a finish since my last video. It's Christmas, but I'm showing it anyways. This is Silver Bells by Lindy Stitches. This is stitched on Forbidden Fiber 32 count Lugana in the colored Frozen with all the called for colors, which included 3 Forbidden Fiber colors. I don't remember what they're called, but I do know the green is Elphaba because I'm a huge Wicked fan. I think the gray may have been Tatooine, but I'm not 100% sure. And the blue. I don't remember what those are. I do remember I didn't have the called for green. I just grabbed, or green DMC, so I just grabbed a green that looked similar and went for it. There's mistakes, and we're just going to pretend like we don't see them because nobody knows where they are but me. And I'm really happy to have this done. It will be FFO'd in time to put out for Christmas. Okay, on to new stitching. I did combine whips and starts because so many of my whips were actually starts at Sandy Zoom. I haven't stitched a whole lot because of the migraines and the injury, so I figured I'll just put them all together. So the first one I have to show you is Stitching Rules by Primrose Cottage. I put in another video that my goal is to put like a stitchy wall in my office, and I actually have a lot more wall space in this area, so I'm excited for that. And so I'd like to finish like a lot of my whips that have stitching motifs and whatever, so I can put them up when this is finally done. I did buy the called for Color and Cotton floss pack from Primrose, and this is my start. Super fast stitch so far. I mean, words are fast anyways, but this was like 2 hours of stitching, so pretty quick stitching. Excuse me. It's a fun stitch, so I hope to get back to that when my arm allows. Next, this is a start and finish. I did do Noel, and this is part of the Jingle series by Lizzie Kate. Those are all of the charts. So I think there's 12 different charts, and you can do them all together or you can do them individually. I am doing them individually as a stitch along with my friend Amy, my best friend since we were 5. She lives in Colorado. I happened to be with her in October. And so we put the first stitch in November together. I was there over Halloween. So November 1st, we started the Deck the Halls. And the goal is to finish one of the patterns every month until next October, when we're going to see each other again, and so we can finish it together. So Deck the Halls, Ho Ho Ho, Noel, and now I'm working on Cheers. or cheer. So I'm almost done with it, and then I will be all caught up on that. So I'm really happy that I've actually kept up on something, and she has as well. So it's been kind of fun to share it with her, since we don't see each other that often. She does stitch, and it's fun to do something together. I've really had fun with that. Okay, so also on the Zoom with Sandy, I started the Quaker of Hearts sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery. I picked up this pattern in October when I went to Colorado Cross Stitcher. And this is my start. This is on an antique white even weave in 36 count. I picked it up from Heartland Quilt and Stitch, which is run by the Cornhusker State Stitchers here on YouTube. And I just wanted to try a smaller count, and I love it. I'm doing it 1 strand over 2, and I love it. It's just kind of hard for me to see in the dark, in the nighttime. So it is a daytime stitch for me. I am stitching it with Hibiscus by the Gentle Arts. Again, pink hearts. It's all the things for me. This hits all of the required buttons for me. Oh, I'm going to put the needle back in that fell out. Next up is A Year of Silhouettes by Joan Elliott. Sherry at Colorado Cross Stitcher here on YouTube stitched this last year, I believe, or maybe the year before. She stitched it on 40 count, and I saw it as a sample when I was at her store. It's so striking. I don't know how else to say it. It's just striking. And it was small, and it was just so wonderful. I was just enamored with it. So I picked up the pattern, and I did start it on Sandy's Zoom. I'm doing it on a 20 count Ada in the color just white, I think. And this was my start. So I am working on the January block. And Sherry added like a pop of color to, like, just a little bit of color in every space. I'm going to do something similar, but I may add 2 colors, like on these scarves. I think I might do the girls pink and the boys like green or something, or blue or something, just to pop a little bit of color in there. So we'll see. I decided I was going to make it up as I go along. So I grabbed a pink, a blue, a green, a yellow, an orange, and a red. So I'll just kind of see what I feel like when I get there. This is also smaller, so it is a daytime stitch. And yeah, and I'm just going to say it's assumed I want to get back to all these, right? I think that we should all just assume that when we're watching FlossTube. So the next one is an epic fail on my part. I showed this in my last video and said that I would finish it. My goal was to get it done by my next video. Wah, wah, wah. Didn't happen, but I did get some work in it. So this is Valentine's Day Quaker by Primrose Cottage. Again, pink, hearts, hits all the markers for me. I am stitching it in the Called For Ripe Melon by Classic Colorworks. I did get quite a bit done. I did some more of these hearts. I did the love. I finished this motif, and I started this. So I'm almost to the end. I am here. So I have like this much left to do, which some of it will go slow, some of it will go fast. It's very fun to stitch. I just haven't been able to do the stitching, and I don't know, other things called me, as they do, as we all know, right? Next up, this was a gift from my friend Shelly. It's only stitching here on Instagram, and Key X Stitch on Instagram. It's only stitching here on YouTube. And this is the 2026 Collector's Heart. I do have the 2025. I haven't started that one yet. But this one is it's just so pretty. And I really love the saying on it. So I started it the minute she gave it to me. So this is my start. It did come with linen. I believe it's platinum, 32 count platinum. Yeah, platinum linen. It doesn't say from who. It says Yarn Tree. I assume it's Zweigart. And then it also came with the Called For Cottage Garden threads in Marooned in Love. And it's kind of cool. It's not variegated thread with the light and the dark. It's actually 2 separate threads in one floss pack. So that's kind of cool. It's delightful to use. I really like the way that it comes out. It's so easy to store. You don't need a floss tag. You just hold it in this, and it's really nice. As I said before, linen is not my favorite thing to stitch on, but I kind of like this one. It's not as loosey-goosey, I guess, for lack of better saying. And it's not, it doesn't have a lot of slubs. So I really do, I don't mind that one. So this is, I like cross stitch. This is from Jet X Stitch. This is, I'm stitching it on the 32 count called for apricot, which the end with the called for DMC and the thread work. So everything is DMC except for this blue. And this is called for Threadworks, and I don't remember the color. I believe I bought this as a pack with the Lugana and the floss from Lindy Stitches. Maybe I ordered it, you know, I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyways, this is my start. I am doing this as a stitch along with Julie, a Kansas girl in Colorado World. She did this as a birthday start. And so I did have like this much done. And so I worked on it with Julie. Totally a fun stitch. Like the colors are, look at those colors. It's crazy. It's crazy that these go together. Look at these. I mean, I love it. The more colorful, the better for me. I think it's just beautiful. So I'm enjoying that a lot. I actually put in my half hour on that yesterday. So that was fun. Next up, You Make My Heart Happy by Heartstrings Samplery. One thing that Sandy said in her Whip Parade, again, this is Stitching with Sandy here on YouTube, she said that she's trying to stitch her favorite designers. Like she has so many that she loves by certain designers. Why isn't she stitching them? And I thought about it, I'm like, you know what, that's true. And Heartstring is one of my favorite designers. I pretty much love everything she puts out. And so I'm keeping this one in my whip rotation until it's done. And when this is done, I'm going to substitute another one. So this is You Make My Heart Happy. I'm stitching it on 16 count Heartland Lugana by, or excuse me, Ada by Picture This Plus. I finished the roof, and I started the house, and I started the window, and I finished this part. So not a ton of work, but hey, progress is progress, right? Okay, so I also started this on the New Year's Eve Zoom. This is Sampler of Love. Are you getting my theme this year? So far, it seems like every other thing is hearts and pink and whatever. Anyways, this is being stitched on 32 count light taupe Lugana. I'm using the called for colors, except I substituted the pink for Emma's pink from Weeks Dye Works because I did not like the salmon colored pink that it had, and I wanted to pink it up. It's probably a little bright for most people, but right in my wheelhouse. I especially love with white. I love how that worked. The little daisy, I guess that is. So I think it's perfect for me. It might not be perfect for everybody with the bright pink, but I really like it. I kind of got bored. This house is no joke. I think this house is like, I don't know, almost a week of stitching. It took forever. I'm not the fastest stitcher, but that was a lot of stitching. So as I told you in prior videos, I am going to be a grandma this year, my first time. My daughter's pregnant. She is currently 25 weeks along. Baby's kicking like crazy. Her husband has even felt it, so that's exciting. I'm going to go, not next week, but the week after, I'm going to go see her, so hopefully I can feel baby. And we're going to have a little baby moon, like, you know, the last time mommy gets to hang out with my daughter before she's also a mommy. Yes, my 28-year-old calls me mommy, whatever. I'm 58 and I call my dad daddy, so I guess it's just a girl thing. Anyways, when I was at Stitching Group, Tara, the 805 Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram, was doing some destashing. She brought a bunch of charts, and one of them that I took was this one. There's this, I think it's called Grandma's House by Lindy Stitches. Perfect, right? There's no place like home except Grandma's. So this was an immediate start for me, and this is what I got up to. I'm stitching it on, I don't know, an unknown Lugana. I'm going to guess platinum, country mocha, vintage country mocha, something fairly in a common wheelhouse. I am using all the called for colors, and that's as far as I got. So I'd like to have this one done before he gets here in June. He's a boy, if I didn't say so. Definitely a boy. Their most recent ultrasound, he made it very, very clear that he's a boy. And my next start was Winter Rules by Primrose. I love all of these. I really do. I haven't decided yet if this one is going to be, if I'm going to stitch them individually and put them in a dough bowl, which is probably what I'm going to do. I don't have a lot of wall space in my house. So, as you saw in Jingles, I'm stitching them individually, and I'm going to make them into pillows and stick them in a dough bowl. I'll probably do that with this as well. I haven't gotten far enough that I have to make that decision yet. Here is my Winter Rules start. I am using all the called for DMC and stitching this on in 16 count, or 18 count, excuse me, Winter Rule, or Platinum Lugana, except I think it's Ada. Platinum Ada, 18 count Platinum Ada. Words are hard. I love the way the white is popping off, and there is a ton of white. So I'm glad I found a fabric that will really pop off that white. So my friend Amy's also stitching this one. I actually gifted it to her. I bought the pattern at Jingle Ball, and so she's working on it. She's further than I am. When I heard that Catherine O'Hara passed, I was so sad. I don't think there's anything she's been in that I didn't love. Beetlejuice wasn't my favorite, but really, I loved her. Mostly, I loved her in Schitt's Creek. So I pulled out my Schitt's Creek sampler. And I actually am backwards because I realized I had done 2 lines here in the wrong color. So I picked that out. And then I was just filling in more of David's Lightning sweater. This is on a 20 count white Ada, and again, it has to be a daytime stitch because I can't see it. I know, I need to get a light or something. Our house is just not conducive to having a light in my stitching spot. And the lighting isn't terrible in our living room. It's actually pretty good. I have a light that comes directly over me, but I have noticed on the smaller counts, I just can't see it. Last one is My Sweetie ABCs, and this is by, I'm not going to remember. Oh, Alicia Paulson. And it's Alicia, Alicia Paulson, PAULSON.com. I'm stitching this for my grandson on 16 count, some type of green. That fabric is not coming out. That's a better representation of the fabric. But I did get the girl finished, and I have been working on the house. This one, I'm going to put his name at, I'm going to just do an extra little blurb here and put his name once I know it, and his birthday. So it's his birthday, or his birth sampler. But I don't know his name. Obviously, I don't know when he's going to be here. So it's not an urgent situation for me. So that's what I've been stitching. I do have a little bit of haul, not a lot. I did put myself on a no by January, and I have made no goals in 2026, but I have decided that I'm not buying anything at all without a 24-hour cooling off period. I'm going to try to curb those impulse purchases. So plenty of times I've had things in my cart and I've taken them right back out. So I don't have a ton of haul. I do have plenty to keep me busy. So I did, like I said, I did buy some from the Stitchin' Kitten when they had their sale. I actually went on to buy some fabric, And then as you do, you just look to see what else there was. And as I was looking, I found, this chart, or this booklet. And I want to show you something that my grandma made me. Oh, dang, it is really glary. There we go. Well, no, there. My grandma made this for me as a wedding gift, and it is hung in our bathroom for 33 years. Dang. Okay, there. I love these little boys and girls. She made it for me because she had it hanging in her bathroom, and I always used to laugh at them as a little kid. I thought they were dirty and like nasty, like bad language and whatever. And so I used to always laugh at them, and that's why she made them for me for Christmas. And then my mom had it professionally framed for me. So I love, love, love having these in my bathroom. It makes me think of my grandma. And I about died when I saw that the Stitch and Kitchen had this pamphlet or this booklet, because there's the little boy, and I'm not sure where the little girl is, but she's also included. I also made this for a friend of mine when I was in middle school, and I stitched this for my mom when I was in middle school. I don't know where any of those stitches are, but it just really made a lot of good memories. It brought back a lot of memories from when I was stitching in the 90s. So actually, it would be the late 80s. This is copyright 1978. But there's so many memories associated. So I don't know if I'll stitch anything from it, but it really brought back some good memories for me. So I picked that up. And then if you watch Five Oaks Farm Stitching, she has really been getting a lot of these old leaflets. And one that she was doing on a giveaway is Heart of Christmas and Hearts. And I happened to see the Stitch and Kitchen hat, and I love these. I might put these on perforated paper as ornaments, but I just thought they were so cute. And then look at these little mittens and snowmen, and of course a goose, which, judging by all the market patterns, that's really becoming popular again, right? Geese. Anyways, I just thought that was so cute, so I picked that up. And then Pooh had, they had a little Pooh collection. My daughter is debating doing her nursery in Pooh, and so I think I'm going to try to get these stitched for my grandson for his first Christmas. I did have this pattern previously. I bought it as a kit back when it was first a kit. I stitched it. I think I started stitching them for my niece, who's now 22. Yeah. So, and I'm sure it was old at that point. Copyright 2001. So these were done on the plastic canvas. I think I'll probably do them on the perforated paper, which I guess is now perforated PVC, but whatever. Pretty dense stitching. Maybe I'll do like Pooh this Christmas, Piglet one Christmas. We'll see. But there's also a lot of other Pooh Christmas designs, so I thought that was fun. And then I got, okay, who remembers Ziggy? I'm dating myself, but I loved Ziggy. Loved this cartoon. So I think I might do this for my Valentine's display. I just love it. It's just so cute. And Ziggy, what is the copyright on this? 1988. So much fun. Rachel, thank you for turning me on to these older charts. And then I did get a new one, Erin Elizabeth Valentine's. I love that. I'm not going to stitch it this year. That'll be a next year stitch. And then one Stitchy Kindness, along with the 2026 Collector's Heart. Shelly, my friend, gave me this. Love triangles. Love triangle. I haven't started any yet. I got this, and like I said, I opened up the 2026 heart right away, and yeah, the rest I've already talked about. So I do have a few other things that I've been getting up to. First of all, I've been trying to knit a baby blanket for my grandson. And this is how it is so far. I started it when the Broncos were playing in the NFC Championship game, or AFC, whatever they're in. And this is how far I got before I hurt my wrist. There's a needle in here. That's not a good thing. A pen. So I did that. It's the Lullaby Baby cabled blanket from Barbara Selznick. I got it at my local knitting store. I don't know if it's sold anywhere else. I've had this for years. I've knit this blanket at least 6 times. I actually even figured out how to make it bigger, and I knit it for my daughter as a full-size or twin-size blanket in pink, brown, and white. Those were her colors when she was in high school. So this one I'm doing in obviously blue and white, and then I have a variegated yarn that I'm going to do for the 3rd color. So as soon as my wrist allows, I'll be working on that again. And then I've been making burp cloths. How cute. I got this is flannel that I got on Etsy, and I am just following a tutorial from the Fat Quarter Shop. But I finished up 3 for her yesterday. I'm so excited. They're so cute, and you know, actually something that she'll use. And then from the Fat Quarter Shop, they did a tutorial on the Big Bubble Quilt As You Go baby pattern, and that's not a great representation, but it is on the Fat Quarter YouTube channel. And I am doing this one. And what you do is you get a layer cake and then a solid. So I have a solid white with just a little bit of a background, like white on white, and you mix them. So this is my next big project, but I thought these fabrics were so cute for my little grandson. And then my mom started a quilt for my daughter for her wedding before she passed, and I had a big idea that I was going to finish it for her wedding, and with all the wedding planning and, you know, daily phone calls of, oh, mom, it was too much. I couldn't handle it. I was getting migraines almost daily, putting me in bed. It wasn't going to work. So what I'm going to do is take one of the panels that my mom had made and use it as one of the panels on the quilt. So she'll have a little bit, and then if I ever have a granddaughter, because it's all pink and it's all hearts, I know, shocking, then maybe I can figure out a quilt to use for that. But my daughter will love the sentimental value of that. So that's it. That's all I have to share today. I think this is my shortest video to date, which is good. I'm sure you guys don't need to listen to me yammer. You can go on to another person and listen to them yammer. I hope that, I should say plans, I have none. I want to keep up with my jingles with my friend Amy, but I have no plans to do anything. If I make a plan, I generally break it. So, you know, I'm not making plans. I am looking at all the market releases. There's a few I really, really like, but I have decided I'm not going to pre-order any. I'm going to wait until they come out and, you know, maybe buy them when I'm going to stitch them instead of just collecting. I'm really trying to, you know, not do all that impulse spending. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy. I did do well in January. I'm like, let's just have a 1 month, no buy. Did great. Ordered February 1st. But I don't need anything. So I am trying to like slow down the purchases a little bit. So hopefully next time you see me, I will have had better luck with migraines. I'm seeing a new doctor the early part of March. Maybe he'll have some ideas that no one else has thought of before. I'll keep up with my hand therapy, so hopefully I'll be able to stitch a little bit more, get back to that, knit, I don't know, whatever I get up to, right? That's it. Happy February, happy Valentine's, Galentine's, whatever. Happy President's Day. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here, I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave me a comment. Let me know, what are you stitching? What are you looking at market? What do you like? What are some other floss tube channels that you're watching? I am watching a lot of floss tube as I'm laid up. So love to hear some new ones. And I will link all the people that I have mentioned in this video below. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.